ready.
On a 650-acre plot of land in Glendive, Montana.
Yeah, so the interstate just borders our property right up there.
Liz Brown spends a good portion of her free time
It's a stinger. It hauls the bales.
baling hay.
Almost like a little game on which hay bale I'm going to pick up next. I grew up on a ranch, and so doing this kind of stuff is actually very enjoyable to me. Helps me unwind.
She loves the open spaces
One of the beautiful parts of this eastern Montana are all the bluffs around here.
and says she always planned to make her home out in the
It's
country.
nice to have at least a little something.
But farming is just her side gig.
Thank you for calling Sanford. This is Teresa.
Hello. Good. How are you guys?
Dr. Elizabeth Brown
Okay. How's baby doing?
is also an OB/GYN at Sanford Health in Dickinson, North
Are
Dakota,
you okay with
about 90 miles east of her home.
membrane sweep?
She is, in many respects,
Baby will come.
the epitome of rural health
Even
care.
in a first-time mom, when I broke my arm, I had to travel like 75 miles away to where the closest orthopedic surgeon was in order to get my arm fixed. And so being able to provide care into a smaller community, for me, like Dickinson's actually a big city. So
Her mornings start with a cup of coffee and some quiet time with her husband Todd.
He was tired last night.
The couple has 3 young children at home,
love you, Todd.
and most days, Dr. Brown is on the road before the little ones even wake up.
I leave around 5:30, sometimes 6.
Her commute is, shall we say, atypical.
I think it's about 92 miles.
An hour and a half through the farms and fields of Montana,
Just kind of mentally going through what my day is and
the Badlands of North Dakota,
kind of reviewing like which surgeries I have on.
and into the clinic parking lot, where she finally arrives at work. It's due to that long drive and her background in ranching and farming that Dr. Brown says she is often able to bond quickly with her patients.
Ready? I think it helps them be able to realize that I come from a similar situation to them, that I know kind of what they're going through, kind of their sacrifices that they make to get here. You have that common bond.
She can relate to their farm work, which makes it easier to tell patients which chores really do need to be set aside. And because she knows how hard it can be to travel all those miles, she makes sure to schedule all of their tests and appointments on the same day.
The patients here, when they drive for those long distances, we have a little bit more leeway on, when they show up, when the roads are bad. We're going to give them, there's not a real solid no-show time. We will make time for them and make sure that they can get seen in a timely fashion.
Knowing that your doctor is right here and they'll try to fit you in calms your nerves. You're just grateful that they'll take that time.
Just like her patients, Dr. Brown has to make sacrifices to be at the clinic.
So this is my apartment.
When she is on call, or when she has an early morning surgery, or simply when the roads are bad in the wintertime.
Okay.
Dr. Brown stays at an apartment in Dickinson. It can be tough being away from her family, but she says that's part of the job.
As an OB, you have to be available at all times, but it's definitely challenging, being away, especially with younger
You want to
kids.
see mommy? There you are. There's Sissy.
Hello.
Her patients, and especially her colleagues, know the challenges of rural healthcare and that they're in this
A
together.
lot of teamwork. I think there's a lot of flexibility too, knowing that unexpected things come up. And this is kind of life that not everyone who lives in more centralized hubs appreciates, that how much effort even something as basic as going to work can sometimes be.
You're welcome.
After driving 90 minutes back home,
Here's your little helper.
Dr. Brown returns to big hugs
But she's happy.
Dinner!
That fed her.
Yeah. You're messy.
and a few more chores.
So this is one of our bulls. This is Teddy.
Her cows need feeding.
And then we have Win and Nellie and Bonnie and Blackie and Wild Thing out here.
One of the things that the patients really get along with her good is because she's down to earth. I mean, she gets out here, she'll drive a cement truck, she'll drive skid steer, we work cows.
And if they ever have any issues calving, there's an expert close by.
Fortunately, they haven't had any obstetrical emergencies. They've all been able to calve on their own out in the field.
As the sun sets on a long day in both the medical field and the hay fields,
She enjoys her swinging. Huh.
Dr. Brown finally settles in for some family time.
Oh, it definitely warms my heart. We wanted our children to be raised in a similar environment to what I was, and I didn't want to be living in town all the time.
Which is why, with a little extra effort, Dr. Elizabeth Brown and her family are able to live their not-so-simple life down on the farm.
I'll catch you.
In Glendive, Montana,
Good job, little buddy.
Jason Anschutz, Sanford Health News.
Let you down? No. Whoa.